Hey there guys, I'm Jon Campea. Thank you for visiting my movie vlog, and this is the movie news feed where in just a couple of minutes we run down all the biggest item in the world of movie news that film fans need to know. Up first, the brand new Netflix original film Brite, starring Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, that debuts on December 22nd, has just released its first official poster that you can see right here. Set in an alternative present day, this action thriller directed by David Ayer, who directed Suicide Squad, End of Watch, and wrote Training Day, follows two cops from very different backgrounds. Ward, a human played by Will Smith, and Jacoby, an orc played by Joel Edgerton, who embark on a routine patrol night that will ultimately alter the future as their world knows it. Battling both their own personal differences as well as an onslaught of enemies, they must work together to protect a thought-to-be-forgotten relic which, in the wrong hands, could destroy everything. Netflix pressed for this thing pretty hard at Comic-Con this year. I'll tell you, the main reason I'm kind of looking forward to it is Joel Edgerton. I think this guy is actually one of the most underrated actors in the business today. When he was in that movie Warrior with Tom Hardy as his brother, that MMA movie, he just turned the world on its ear as far as I'm concerned. He was so good in that. I thought he could have gotten an Oscar nomination for it, actually. Hold on to your hats. Rian Johnson is, of course, directing the upcoming Star Wars The Last Jedi, and from all accounts, he did a terrific job. So much so that a lot of people thought when they got rid of Lord and Miller off the Han Solo project that maybe they would get him in instead, and some people were scratching their heads when they didn't. Well, now maybe we know why. It looks like Disney has been in talks with Rian Johnson to direct not one, not two, but three, a brand new Star Wars trilogy that he is set to write and direct. Now, if Rian Johnson writing and directing a brand new trilogy of Star Wars films wasn't good enough, Disney also announced that they had some big plans for their upcoming Disney streaming service. In addition to the Star Wars TV series, Disney is working on TV series adaptations of Pixar's Monsters, Inc., the Disney Channel's High School Musical franchise, and an original entry from Marvel, all to be exclusively for the brand new Disney streaming channel. This story makes a lot of sense for several reasons. When you look at Lucasfilm recently, the one big problem they've had is getting on the same page with new directors. Hence, when the Han Solo movie needed a new director, they went to Ron Howard, a known, reliable name. When they needed a new director for Star Wars Episode 9, they went back to J.J. Abrams, somebody they already knew they can work with, and now it's no surprise when looking for new creative directors for their upcoming trilogy that they would go to a guy they just worked with and they know turns in good stuff, Rian Johnson. Next up, Louie CK's brand new film, I Love You Daddy, was all set to have its New York premiere when at the last second they pulled the plug and shut the premiere down. We later found out why. The New York Times was running an article alleging 5 women who have come forward to accuse Louie CK of sexual harassment. For those of you who don't know anything about Louie CK's new film, here's the quick synopsis. The film tells a story of a successful TV writer-producer that attempts to stop his 17-year-old daughter's, Chloe Grace Moretz, growing admiration and relationship with a 68-year-old filmmaker played by John Malkovich. As of right now, no official statement on this situation has come from Louie CK or his representatives, so what the future for I Love You Daddy holds is still kind of up in the air. We'll just have to wait and see how this works out. Next up, don't get used to seeing new Marvel shows on Netflix anytime soon. According to a report in the Wall Street Journal, Disney's primary reason for engaging in talks with Fox, talks that seem to have stalled recently, were to try to capture some of their television content for their upcoming streaming service in 2019. According to the report, no new Marvel properties will be developed for Netflix. It's expected that all new properties will be developed specifically for the Disney streaming station, and we can probably assume at some point all the existing IPs will also make their way over there. Now, the website /Film also followed up on this, and they said the following. The Wall Street Journal story also confirms that Disney's as of now stalled plan to buy a large chunk of 21st Century Fox was tied directly to their goals of trying to compete with Netflix. The Fox deal would have given Disney control of a large portion of Fox's TV shows, which Disney would have then presumably moved over to their upcoming streaming service. Look, I'm really okay with this. If Disney has planned for their streaming service to have the same tone and temperature that their shows have had on Netflix with some R-rated material, a little grittier, a little darker, a little more violent, then I think this could be perfectly fine. If they want to change everything to PG-13, I might have a problem with that, but this isn't the big screen. This is home television. I think Disney will take some more liberties here. Next up, the Kevin Spacey controversy just never stops going, and now a whole new dimension has been added to it. Kevin Spacey's Baby Driver co-star Jon Bernthal just came out in an interview, and he kind of expressed it. He sort of, well, hated working with Kevin Spacey. Going onto that Baby Driver set and working with him, I wasn't there much, and I really wasn't in a situation to judge, but when I was there, he really rubbed me the wrong way. I thought he was a bit of a bully. I really didn't care for the way he was behaving towards some of the people on set. I think he was acting towards people in a way that, where I remember at the time thinking, man, if that was a woman he was talking to, I would have done something. I would have said something. And I was really happy to sort of get out of there for that reason. So don't expect to see Jon Bernthal and Kevin Spacey starring in another movie anytime soon. Not that we're likely to see Kevin Spacey ever in another movie again. And finally, under the category of sequels nobody asked for or wanted, Netflix has now confirmed that a shooting date has been set before the end of the year for Iron Fist Season 2. Now, they've already confirmed that Iron Fist is going to show up in Luke Cage Season 2, and one can probably assume that Luke Cage will also do the same. Look, this was probably one of the worst things that Marvel has ever done, until Inhumans came along. Thank you, Inhumans, for taking the negative attention off Iron Fist. Yeah, before Inhumans came along, Iron Fist was probably the poorest piece of crap that Netflix and Marvel has ever produced. They really should have just abandoned this. Keep using the character in the other shows if you want. I really don't see a reason to do a season 2, but who knows? Maybe they'll come out of the gate and blow us all away and redeem the character entirely. One can only hope. That'll do it for today's installment of the Movie News Feed. You got any thoughts or opinions on any or all the topics we discussed here today? Just jump down into the comments section and leave your thoughts there. While you're here, guys, make sure you click the thumbs up button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and make sure you're following me on social media simply at Jon Campea. That'll do it for me, guys. My name's Jon Campea, and until the next video, bye-bye.